From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Features Edition for Tuesday, February the 19th, 2019. We open with a report from Finland's state archives publicized earlier this month, which found that Finnish volunteer soldiers serving in the Nazi Waffen-SS units during the Holocaust very likely took part in atrocities against Jews, as well as against Russian prisoners of war and civilians in general, during the German march through Ukraine and into the Caucasus from 1941 to 1943. Some 1,400 Finns volunteered in the units during this time period. The report follows an appeal from Nazi hunter and director of the Simon Wiesenthal Center's Jerusalem office, Ephraim Zuroff, to Finland's President Sauli Niinisto to look into the role the volunteers played in the murder of Jews during the Holocaust. Zuroff told the Associated Press after the publication of the findings that it was an example of unique and exemplary civic courage. Finland's State Secretary Paula Lehtomäki welcomed the report as well, saying we share the responsibility for ensuring that such atrocities will never be repeated. The Jewish Council for Public Affairs marked its 75th anniversary at its annual national conference in Washington last week. The gathering addressed a number of challenges facing the Jewish community, including the polarized political climate, anti-Semitism, and how to respond to anti-Israel activism. JCPA Senior Vice President Melanie Gorelick said that the organized Jewish community should invest in augmenting the capacity of both the JCPA and the local Jewish Community Relations Councils nationwide in order to deal with these issues. She said we have the relationships, the methodology, and the experience to efficiently address the day's most critical challenges with not only both the political right and the left at the table, but all four denominations of religious Judaism as well. Jewish transgender activist Barbara Babs Sipperstein has died. The New York Jewish Week reported that Sipperstein was known for her groundbreaking advocacy for the civil rights of the transgender community and also for her steadfast support of Israel. She died February the 3rd of complications from cancer. She was 76. Israeli humanitarian aid agency IsraAid will hold an informational session later this week in Southern California that focuses on responding as a community to man-made or natural disasters. The day after the disaster, the next steps of humanitarian aid sessions will take place this Thursday and share the Israeli group's know-how in the aftermath of the devastating fires in California last November. IsraAid had sent an emergency response team to the affected area last year and has been training dozens of professionals in the local area. Since its founding in 2001, IsraAid has responded to and assisted with emergencies all over the world. Well, beloved traditional Jewish eatery Russ & Daughters is expanding to Brooklyn. The iconic shop, known for its bagels and lox and more, has been around for over 100 years, with its first and still main location on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Now they've opened in Brooklyn's Navy Yard. There's also a branch in the Jewish Museum. Co-owners and cousins Nikki Russ Fetterman and Joshua Russ Tupper are fourth generation of Russ family members to run the business. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight. At 8, former Senator Joe Lieberman and former Treasury Secretary Jack Lew talk about America today, from incivility in Washington to moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. That's with Abigail Pogrebin in a Jewish Week program from the Stryker Center at Temple Emmanuel. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Martin Luther King's advisor, Clarence Jones, on L'chaim. And coming up right after this newscast, it's ILTV's Insight to Israel. And that's the JBS News Features Edition for Tuesday, February the 19th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.